So there's not a lot of people explaining this type of stuff on YouTube at this moment. So I will take the liberty and show you how to fish from the simple basics. This here you call a swivel. This is one of your most important elements to fishing, especially if it comes to your carp and bait fish. In South Africa we call it papgooi. Without this you cannot actually really fish it at all. And then even more so important actually is your hooks. Now you get many different types of hooks. This is your normal hook. I use it for carp and stuff. It's not really much different to all your other hooks. For example, here's a different hook. It is your barbed hook. As you can see there, that's bent a bit. It has barbs running at that. This you use for more predatory type of fish like barbers, pickerel, and so on. And then you get different types of swivels, like this is your freeway swivel. When you make your leader, or in my home language we call it a strop, you use this to attach a different extra hook if you're going to use that. Then something else we get swivel wise is your snap swivel. You use it to easily attach and detach swivels to your main line normally. If you don't really know how to tie knots, I will explain knots in a later video, the different types of knots you get. This video is just about the basics. See, you open it up like that, then you thread your swivel through. Normally your leader is attached to this way, and then you just close that, and then that's attached, and you can, it's basically a knotless knot in a way. Then you have your beads. Now your beads, it's not really necessary, but it is for your sinkers and swivels when we get to the swivel part. It's recommended that you get a tackle box like this, so you have segments that you can use whenever you want to fish like professionally and stuff. It makes it a lot more easier. And these are your PVA meshes. Now I never actually used this before, because if I'm honest, I don't know how to at this stage, but I'll figure it out and tell you guys. Now let's go to let's call it a strop. As you can see there, this is your Sputnik. Now you put your pack baits like millibomb, dough, bread, different types of bait on your Sputnik, and if you go to the top, you can see this is your freeway swivel that I just explained to you, and I used the snap swivel to attach a longer hook line, and then you have your main strop with your Sputnik. I use the bead. Now I can actually explain the bead. See, if you've cast, that Sputnik tends to move around in the air, and as that Sputniks move around in the air, it bumps into that swivel. Now that knot at the swivel you make there, it tends to bump into that a lot, so that can get hurt. But if you put a bead there, that knot is protected from the moving of the Sputnik. There I've just attached another hook line, my main hook line, with a normal hook. Now we get many different types of strokes. I'll go into that in a lot of different videos. I'm here to just explain to you the basic fundamentals of fishing, because there's not a lot of people that goes in depth about everything. You have your big companies, but they don't really tend on teaching you from the beginning. So I'm your friendly teenager fisherman in South Africa, going to teach you the fundamentals of fishing. See, you also get your metal sort of Sputnik, but that is in a different video for you. This is just to show you the fundamentals of components. Now that that's out of the way, let me show you the miscellaneous stuff. This is your policeman. Now, when you fish and you've cast it out and now you're waiting for your catch, and let's say this is your line that went out. Now, you don't always know when a fish bit into it. So, what you do, put a policeman on it that floats on top of the water. And when that floats on top of the water, let me just finish this. Surprisingly, it's the rod much easier to do it with. Okay, so let's say this is now on the water and a fish comes and pulls. When the light tightens, this starts to bounce up and down and go under the water. So that's a good fish indicator. You get many different sizes of policemen and many different forms of policemen. Here in South Africa, we have a nice fishing culture, if I can say so. So they've industrialized the fishing process for us, and this is like everywhere you go, any fishing store, they have this a nice, decent indicator. This is like the jumbo size, and this is what you'll normally use for it. See, compared to your jumbo size, it's quite smaller. So yeah, that was the introduction to fishing, the basic fundamentals of your tackle box. Now, as I said, you get many different types of hooks. Like this is your offset hook. You use it for big bait, hearts, liver, meat, mostly meat. Or when you go with art fishing, like bass and any sort of big, let's call it American style sport fishing, if that makes sense. That you use this, you can put plastic over and stuff. You even get these very, very small hook. As you can see there, it's very small in comparison with your normal hook and offset hook. Very small and different. Now, one piece of advice when it comes to hooks: don't let it rust, don't let it get old, if that makes sense. And not every fish can get hooked by a big hook, but every fish can get hooked by a small hook. Remember that. This is isotonic fishing.